Okay, let's go ahead and finish up. Security panel. First move, make an instance variable. It's private, it's string, it's access code. We need this because we're going to either grant access or deny access. And we need to update this global variable. Remember at the start we had all the access codes up here. I moved them to the bottom because I'm going to be working with them and they're right down where my button action is. So let me scroll down to the button action all the way to the bottom. Here we go. Here they are. I'm going to use a switch statement, switching on the access code. Now, you could see here that this action here is what's going to be tied to all the buttons. Now, this is the method that is going to call, and you see this event. You see this event, and I want to show this event. Now, I have three things that I want to do. If it's a number, I'm simply going to update the access code. If it's the clear, I'm going to clear out the access code. And if it's the enter button, I'm going to actually try and validate the access code. See this nice little piece of code here? This event is going to get me the source. What's the source? Let's put my mouse on this and see. Oh, it says the object on which the event initially occurred. So who is doing this action? Which button? That's why I'm able to cast it to a button and save it. I can ask the button for its text, and I can simply print the text just to make sure I have the right button. We're going to see that. Here we have the security panel. Let's try it. 1. See? 1. Enter. See? Clear. It knows which button was clicked. That's crucial. Now I don't have to write a lot of code. I just need to know which one of these is clicked. And based on that, I'm going to perform the different action. Here's what I'm going to do then. If you click clear, I'm going to perform the clear the access code. If you click enter, I'm going to perform the validate the access code. And if you click a button that's a number, I'm going to simply update the access code. So let's see. If the text dot equals, I like my code completion, clear, then I'm going to clear access code. I know you may be saying, hey, this is an error. Yeah, that's okay. I didn't make the method yet, but I have the idea in my head. Otherwise, if the text dot equals, now at this point, I want to find out if it's enter. Then I'm going to validate the access code. Another method I need to make. See, we're now talking about methods. And as we go further, we're going to write a lot of methods. But methods are a nice way to read your code. It should make sense. Otherwise, we're going to update the access code. It's all about the access code here. With what? The text. Look at this. This is the only one that takes in an argument. This method did not take in an argument. This method did not take in an argument. They are errors because we didn't make them yet. Okay? We didn't make them yet. So let me go ahead and make the update the access code. Private. Doesn't return anything, so it's void, and it's called update access code. Doesn't take in a parameter. And you could see that my update access code method here, well, actually does take in a parameter, takes in the text. You can see my update access code here actually has one text that it takes in, and so I have it there. I have to make the validate access code. Well, let's see. Validate access code. Well, look at this one. A little bit more involved. I have a string that says access granted, one for access denied. Oh, look at this. New. Nice date formatter. It formats the date in terms of the month, the day, the year, the hours, the minutes, the seconds. And this now, very nice little method here, right? Local date time now. That tells me the time right now. So when the person logs in, it not only says administrator logged in, access granted, it tells me the time. So now I also need to do this clear access code. So let me go ahead and write that one. This doesn't return anything. All my methods at this point don't return anything. So And that's because we're just starting or getting deeper into methods. So I'm going to keep it simple to start. Okay, so all my code is now set up, right? All I got to do is figure out what happens here, here, and here. Down here, we're going to write a switch. So let me write this one first. This is the longest one, so let me write it. I'm going to switch on the access code. Right, so let's see. The first thing I'm going to do is case 1020. Break. I'm just going to indent this a little bit. And I'm going to just do a lot of them. It's going to show some errors, but I don't really mind. I'm just going to go ahead and do them still. So we have the 1766. We also have 2134. We also have 2135. What else do we have? 1122. What else do we have? 2011. Let's see. We're going to make sure we get all these access codes. 3011. We also had 4201 and 4202. Okay, look like I'm running out of access codes here. So let me go ahead and put some more. We have 5100. So let me go ahead and make this one. All right, I guess I don't need this additional case here. All right, so let's see. Some of the cases are the same, right? Because if you are a teacher, these two work. So let's see. Don't need a break here then. Okay, when cases are the same, you can stack them simply by taking the break out and putting what needs to be done for teacher on the last case. If you remember, go back and check out this one if you don't remember. It's in the unit before, we got to check it out if you don't remember. Same thing is true here. So what am I going to do with this? Well, I'm going to append to the text area. So this dot, let's find the text area. That's the access log, and I'm going to do append. Okay, so I'm going to do this over and over. So let me go ahead and just copy this and put it in every spot. So I'm going to go here. And again, when you have cases that are the same, put it on the last one. You could see that I'm putting on the last one. So what am I going to append if these are right? Well, I'm going to append the access granted, right? For each one of these. I'm also going to say who it is. And I'm also going to put the date. So let's say this one is who? Custodian. And this one is, what's access code? Is a student. All right, let's leave a little space because we're supposed to put the date on this. We'll put the date on all of these in a second. What's this one? It's a teacher. Give a space. What's this one? 1 that's a cleaner. Need some quotes. What's this one here? I think this is an administrator. Admin. Also principal. Just leaving some space at the end. Did we do all? Oh, we have the head of school still. Okay. Now, we need a default. What if the person didn't type in a good code, right? What if they did not? If they didn't do it, access needs to be denied. So I'm going to deny that. Any incorrect. Now, I don't need a break after default. Let me bring it back to the cases. I don't need a break after default because default is the last case. Generally, that's the way you write a switch. Okay, so we have this. Now you may realize that all this does is that it says when something is good or not. Now look at this. We don't have the time. So let's go ahead and put the time on. So we want the date formatter dot format, and it's going to format the time of now. So let's go ahead and grab all of this. You know what we should do? We should actually make a nice variable here. Let's call it string date instead of writing this over and over. You see the nice reason why we use these variables here? Makes it so much easier to do. And I could just copy that and put these on. You should go ahead and do this as well. Don't watch me. Make sure you're doing it. So here we have the access code validated with a nice switch. But let's go ahead and do the rest. The rest of them are pretty simple. Clearing the access code simply means the access code needs to be cleared. Well, I need to clear the password field as well, because if I don't clear that, and I'm going to set the text to nothing. If I don't clear that, then that password field couldn't get all messed up, because we want to make sure we're clearing things out when we have to do it over. Okay, remember, this is when the button click clear. Okay, and then we got to update. Well, the access code needs to be updated. So access code plus equal the text. Now we need to go ahead and show that in the password field. It's not going to show the actual code. Instead, it's going to show the little dots that represent them. So this is pretty much done. You can see our switch is being used. Okay, you can see our switch is being used here to validate the access code. You could also see one nice thing here: methods. Methods, very important. Let's look at how this is working here. Remember, this was the method that's attached to the button, but this method calls this method and pass the event. The event gets passed, and based on the event, I can figure out which button was clicked. Based on the button that's clicked, I can say if it's clear, call the clear access code method, which is right here. No, that's not the right one. This is right here. And if you're going to do the enter button, you're going to call the validate one down here. And if you're going to do any other button, which is the numbers, update the access code. Let's check it out. All right, here it is. Let's go ahead and just do ones that work first. So 10, 20. Enter. Nice. Granted. Access granted. Custodian. And this is the time that the custodian logged in. Let me clear out that so I could put another code. 1766. A student. Oh, look at that. It's going across. Well, that's not good. At this point, you should be saying, what's missing? We are missing a new line on these. Let's do that. So the date should get a new line at the end. So why don't we just add it on here? Run it again. Here is our guy. So 10, 20. Let's see if we get some. Yay, we got the custodian. Access granted. Let's go ahead and clear that and put in the student. Yep. See, appending nicely. Let's do a teacher. 2135. Where is 2135 is a teacher, and also 2134. Right? They're both teachers. Now realize I'm not putting in the code here because that would be silly. Somebody could actually look in the code and figure it out. Keep your access code private. So 4201. 4201. Principal just logged in, and principal came in a little later, just like when you Log in with your Clear 2 app. See this? Logged in. And now I got to look for the 5100. See, I want to clear that. Clear that. Don't want that 5100. That's the head of school just coming in. No. What if the person types in a code that doesn't work, like 22369? Access denied. Access denied. Now you can see it's running, so that's where the scrolling is here. Horizontal scrolling, vertical scrolling, all the scroll bar. We have everything here. This app is absolutely 100% done. Let's recap. First, we figured out that we wanted to build a security panel. We figured out what we need. We ended up having some access code. We're managing all these things. Hey, look at all these setups. You know where we got this from? We borrowed code. Oh, I'm going to show something else. Remember this text field? Didn't use it. See the yellow? Wasn't used. Wasn't necessary. Get rid of it. Nothing is wrong with taking everything and then realizing what you need and what you don't need. That we did not need. Didn't use it at all. Remember this error message? Didn't use it. Okay. Don't need any of that. Our app works just perfectly fine without those. So what we have here then is a completed app. Now one thing that you must realize here is once you start writing code nicely, you're going to end up writing a lot of methods. And the methods are going to do one thing great. One thing. Not 3 things, not 10 things. Let me show you what I mean. This method right here, his job was to figure out which action to run. Let that one sink in. This guy's job is given the event, which one do I do? He doesn't do them. He doesn't do them. He just figures out which one to do. These do them. Right? This guy does the access code validation. That's what he does. That's it. He doesn't do anything else. This guy clears the access code. That's what he does. This guy updates the access code. That's what he does. So when you look at methods, they do one thing well. So you're going to have this breaking up of code, taking something complex and breaking it up into its smaller pieces. And every method is going to do that little piece. And when we put them together, it's going to be very well done. Now, the other thing is if you write your code like that, a lot of times code that was written before could be reused. So therefore, we want to keep that in mind. That brings us to the end of the security panel in Unit 7.